Aloha, how's it? We are kicking off the 2024 truck season and we are excited. So the truck has been in storage for like 5-6 months and we just brought it out of storage and we did a nice deep clean. So I figured this would be an awesome time to do like a tour of the truck. I'll try to be real detailed and try not to be too nerdy, but I learned a lot about the truck in the past couple years, and it's usually when a problem happens and then I dive into that. I hire an expert in that field to kind of fix whatever problem's going on, and that's how I learn about that part of the truck. I'm blown away at how much I didn't know, but I know I still need to learn a lot about it. So I kind of want to do a walkthrough of it. It's also a good time because we're getting all of our licensing now. In good old Illinois, it works differently than say like California or say like Wisconsin, where you get one license and you're good for the whole state. In Illinois, you gotta get licensed by each county. So, you know, Will County, Kane County, DuPage County, McHenry County, you know, Lake County, all these different counties. And then there's Cook County, where in Cook County, each town needs to get an individual license. Some licenses are annual, some are only temporary event licenses. Regardless, we start off the season, you know, really getting it nice and clean, doing our circuit, paying all the money, printing out all of our packets and all of our inspection papers, and some of them are big stacks, some of them are little stacks, but it's almost a full-time job. But we figure just go ahead and get the annual for all of them if they offer an annual, and then we're good to go. So I'm gonna walk you out to the truck. I'll start at one side, I'll walk around, and then I will go inside. Again, this will be an in-depth look, because it might be cool, especially if you're thinking about opening a truck or you're just interested in that type of stuff. There's the truck. It never ceases to amaze me how many times I get the question of, wow, that's a really nice paint job. And people will even ask and say like, did you paint that? And no, to me it's obvious. You didn't paint this with like a brush. I mean, you'd have to coat it in something, but yeah, no way. No way, this is a vinyl wrap. Like I said, it's obvious to some, but I guess others, yeah. So anyway, we're gonna start at every detail. Check this out. Right here is our drain for our wastewater, or gray water as we call it. So the gray water tank has to be double the size as the water tank, or your clean or fresh water tank. And so the tank where we put the water in, that's 34.5 gallons. And then down here, this is close to 60 gallons. So somebody broke that handle off, which, you know, irks me or whatever. So you just open this up, you attach like an RV hose, you pump it out to the commissary, and it's got to go through the grease trap. Over in here, this is the water input, right? So on the other side of this one is where you attach a hose, and then you could take the hose inside the truck and you could like spray out the fryers and all that stuff, and then you can like spray the floor down before you brush it and mop it. And so this is nice to have. This is the sink tank fill. It's kind of tricky to get it attached to there, but yeah, so that's that. Over here, when I first got the truck, I had no idea about this stuff. This is the exhaust for the water heater. On the other side of the truck right here, you have the 3-sink right here, and then the hand sink, and underneath you have the water heater. So there's 12 volts that goes right from the battery, and it goes da, 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 and it creates a spark. You turn the propane on over there, and then the propane goes down the line, lights it up. When you feel heat here, you know you got hot water. So also, I had to buy a special tool to winterize the thing. I didn't drain the hot water heater the other winter, and all the pipes burst. And I figured if I just left the hot water running and opened up all the lines that it would drain, and it didn't. So now I know I got to drain that thing. When that happened, and for the first time I actually unscrewed this and I drained the hot water heater, it's pressurized, and so I unscrewed it and it shot out at me, and it felt like somebody shot me with like a potato gun. And you know, now I know. So that's something I got to do every winter. Drain the hot water heater. Seems obvious. Here is the heart, dare I say soul? No, not the soul. Not the soul. This is definitely the heart of the truck. This commercial Cummins Onan generator right here. It's liquid propane, and it keeps me up at night. I'm always scared that it's going to break down, because it has. And if this thing breaks down, we're screwed. So we endearingly started calling this generator Gen Z. Why? Because although it's capable, it kind of works when it wants to. It's not super reliable. And we just always kind of wonder about it, wondering whether it's going to show up today or not. So the Gen, obviously, generator. And the Z, well, I explained why. So at first it started as a joke, and now we just like, let's fire up that Gen Z. Here's our power supply. This is like always plugged into the commissary. This is a L1430 plug, which is very important if somebody's running a festival or if there's like some coordinator and you're talking about power. You got to tell them it's an L1430, because we've had it where they've supplied 30 amp power and it wasn't the right plug. So in my package I even include a picture of the plug and everything, and I make them like specifically identify it. Here you have exhaust, right? So, or you know, airflow, because the back of a refrigerator is here. Anytime you have these, right, it's just creating air for the equipment on the other side. This is the propane intake right here. So this is the main. You turn this on first before you fire up the generator, obviously, since the generator needs the liquid propane in here. Here's the bleed. This is where I get it filled up at U-Haul. And this, if you notice, it only gets filled up to 80. So the way it works with propane is you got to leave a little bit of room in there, because the water essentially, or the propane essentially is a liquid and it boils, and the gas, I mean, that's what fuels everything, is the gas in there. So that'll only get filled to 80. So the back of the truck right here, I mean, I just love it. I love it. We had our 2 tattoo artists that we use work on there. At Barry-san, at Kiddo the Art Ninja. And again, people see this and they're always like, did you paint that? And then we tell them about vinyl. But you know what would be really cool, and this is a huge ask, if just one of the 57 subscribers looked them up and said, hey, I saw your artwork on this Hawaiian truck and it was awesome. Would one person do that? I've been waiting for one person to write them and you know, get a tattoo from them or something. I was really hoping that they would just get flooded with wealth because of the recognition I put on there. But this was you know, a collaboration piece, and I mean, I love the way it works out, and people love it. We didn't really want to go with like a big dish of food on there, like is so common with the food trucks. We kind of wanted to make it stand out a little bit differently. Boom. Was it 55-inch LED? We put our menu up on there. If you've seen any other videos, you've kind of seen how that works. Screened in doors. And then we'll go inside here. So, world's most uncomfortable seat. You sit here, your cell phone will fall out of your pocket. We added an extra freezer in here. Oh, look, there's an invoice in there. Houses some extra food. Comes in handy. And every time my family and I go to Hawaii, this is what I'm most excited about. Collecting hula girl dashboard dolls. So anyway, we connect our Bluetooth to here and also our microphone to here. This is a modification. We added the microphone to where we can call out names. At first we had the vehicle came with all of the Wi-Fi in here, and we had to modify it because it would reach 120, 130 degrees in here. So even when we would like run fans and airflow and we would open up the windows, the internet would just crash because it was just cooking in here. So my buddy Matt saved us, and he networked everything to where it's all in the back now. So here's the main power. This is where you switch from the that's where you switch from the power from the building or the commissary when you're plugged in on that 30 amp, and this is when everything is run by the generator. So look, I made it dummy proof. And this is our panel. You know, we were getting work in the restaurants, and I was talking to the electrician, and I just tell him, so my questions don't seem stupid. I don't know anything about electricity, so you know, that gives me the okay to like ask a really dumb question. I said, come take a look at the fuse box. And he stopped me, and then he said, buddy, which I hate, you know, it's like, hey buddy. So he's like, buddy, the fact that you call it a fuse box tells me all I need to know. So, and so here's, you know, I did like some quick keys on here to let me know what draws more power, what's cold items, what pulls, you know, what's lights, where the receptacles are. And I learned when you start the generator, let it run for a while, and then you should power these things on one by one. So it's not just like a load on Gen Z, because although Gen Z can handle it, what's funny about that generator is it's always the regulator kind of breaks a lot too. And so I'm just in the habit of replacing that regulator, because it has to do with like the fuel. If it's not the cleanest fuel, it'll gunk up that regulator. But anyway, so this bungee is the heart and soul of our operation. Another heart and soul. Basically what you do, this is important, you gotta know this. So you gotta use this end right here on the door, and then you wrap it around and hook it there. I mean, this bungee has been with us since the beginning, so it's very, very important. So we have an Advantco hot box. This thing is what pulls the power, man. You know, I missed something. When we have the Gen Z generator, but because of the reliability factor, we also have an external generator that we call the baby boomer. Why? Because it shows up. Because you know when you use it, it's going to work, and it's going to work hard. It is there for us. It is reliable. And like I said, starting off as a joke, now we just call it the boomer, you know, for short for, you know, baby boomer. And so we're like, let's load up that boomer, start that Gen Z. Let's see how it happens. So our fire suppression system, health inspectors and, well, fire chiefs in particular are very concerned that this is up to date. You know, if you know anything about this, if the flames reach a certain height, it makes it a certain temperature behind the filters, the cord snaps, the system dumps, which you don't want to happen. And if the system dumps, there will be a white residue everywhere. Hazmat suits will have to come in here and clean everything out because you're dealing with food. So this is very important that you stay up to date. This is our junk drawer. In here is where, so the gas, the main was outside, and then here you have all your individual items. What we learned about this is that we have to, there's one main pipe that runs all down the line and lights up all these different aspects of the equipment. This right here is our hot water heater. So we turn that on, and we have to turn on the gas to the hot water heater at the furthest point away from the tank. If you light up the fryers first, say, it's kind of like taking all the gas, and everything after that, it's harder for it to light up. It takes forever. So just another little thing that we learned, where you gotta light the furthest thing from the tank first, which would be our 6-gallon water heater. Everything that I'm mentioning I've had work on, and I've learned about it. So this is all of our plumbing, and this is our water pump, which health inspectors want to know that it has 12 PSI to prevent backflow. Ours has 25. This little filter piece right here, the plumber was unfamiliar with, so I found it on Amazon for $1.29. So I just bought a bunch of them. This is our hot water heater, and this thing, when the pipes exploded and I forgot to drain, did not break. Thank goodness. So on the other side of that is that exhaust hole that, you know, if I feel the heat, I know we got hot water. This is the 30-gallon water tank right here that we filled up on the other side. And that other water input gives you this hose right here, which we can spray the floor out, and we can wash out those fryers over there. So that kind of covers everything over here. Health inspectors are always very concerned about chemical storage being away from everything. They want to see a bloodborne pathogen and bodily fluid spill kit. So if somebody takes a crap on the floor or somebody throws up, this is the kit that you bust out. It's never happened. They want to see these test strips so they can test your sanitary water. They want to see a first aid kit. They want to see soap. They want to see hand towels. They want to see that there is a hand sink that is separate from the 3 sink. They want to know the size of the tanks. They want to see these: wash, rinse, sanitize. They want to know, we need a new one, but they want to know that you have this. They want to see your certificates of management. They want to see all of your health permits and everything like that. These are things that they want to see every time. They want to see that everything is stainless steel. I think that I've seen it before. Some guys will build a food truck themselves, and they're not using stainless steel, and so they'll use wood. But wood can hold like bacteria, and it can hold moisture, and it cracks, and inside of wood, you know, you can imagine like there'd be mold and stuff like that. So stainless steel is the way to go. I'll go across. We have our shave ice machine right here. We keep all of our flavors right here underneath a freezer with our ice blocks. We don't really do the shave ice too much. We're still figuring it out after 2 years. And it's not really like a high, well, it's a high profit item, but you really have to do a lot of volume, and it takes up an extra space on the truck. And honestly, when we offer shave ice, everybody gets one. So we're just trying to figure that, you know, it would be ideal to have a truck dedicated to desserts and shave ice. But just extra storage up top. When we do shave ice, here's our ticket rack. So this is one of the most important parts next to the generator. This battery was $600, and it's rated to handle the surges of a generator. So when we use the baby boomer, it goes like vroom, 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 and it like kind of pulses, especially when that hot box turns on, it kicks on, and it's getting it up to temperature, it surges, and that's not good for a battery. And so this battery, it is okay. We could have gotten one for like $140, but we spent $600 because it handles the surges. I mean, and this right here, this is our internet, our AT&T Nighthawk. There's one newer model that I can get, which I may do, but that right there is our router. And let me fix these. So moving everything here instead of on the other side where it was super hot, our internet hasn't gone out at all. So that's been modified to bring it back here. Our toast system plugs into it. We're using tickets and printers for the shave ice, but otherwise it's a KDS or a kitchen display screen or system. Here's our other KDS. So there's that right there. This has all been modified and added. This is the microphone that... Your order's ready, Katie. Yeah, so that microphone is nice when there's a crowd and you have to shout and there's a band. You don't lose your voice yelling for people all night. So modified. I mean, the screen's modified. I need to find a welder because the welding broke off of there. The builders of the truck actually used zinc screws, and their spot welding is not good. So they all broke off. So I need to get a welder that does whatever type of welding that needs to be done to fix those. But all of these right here on these hydraulics, those all busted off at one point, and I found out that they use zinc screws for everything. But when the truck is jostling around and everything, you should have stainless steel screws. So I'll keep on going down the cook line. You have the gas turning that on first, and then second, the gas coming to the steam table. The steam table will hold like Kahlua pork, will hold like buns and keep them warm. You kind of light the pilot underneath, and then you turn these on. I mean, the rice creates a spark here, and the pilot light will be right here. You hit cook, so this thing is incredible. We usually hold different Hawaiian breads here that will then go down here. Obviously, this is usually full in supplies, depending on the job. But the grill is the next thing that we light up. Each one of these we have to individually turn on right here in that order. So then we light up the grill. Funny story behind our flat grill, or our griddle, is one time Evan had the gas on here, so it was slowly leaking gas out of there. And then he put his face right here, and then he lit it, and that slow leak of propane, it went boom. He got a nice wake-up call. Singed his eyebrows, singed his hair. I mean, we have it's all American range equipment, so I mean, and it's beautiful. We keep it nice and clean. Light up our fryer last, and then the hot box, the thing that makes the generator work, the thing that I'm most concerned about always. I'm always trying to push the boundaries and keep it as low as we can, but there's a hot holding temp of like 141. I think we try to hold our food around 150 to 160. And then over here we have our refrigeration. This is a worktop cooler where we'll put, depending on what we're serving, our different garnishes, different sauces, mac salad, things like that. We're holding stuff under here. And then we have our main true refrigerator. So we are very proud of how clean it is, of how we store food. And, you know, we have all of our cheat sheets. Health inspectors love seeing this, you know. Even though, you know, everybody's trained to know that stuff, they love seeing it. They always make mention of it. They're like, oh, I'm glad you have that on there, right? And so there's just certain things that they look for, that they love seeing, and we love to make them happy. So this was the inside of the truck tour. We've done a job or two, and it ran super smooth. Never stopped learning because we really thought we had things perfected last year, and we're a bunch of idiots because there's a bunch more. It's just a bad attitude to have, you know. Maybe got a little cocky and just, I think that we were really proud of ourselves, but we really thought we had the system down where it should be. But already we know going into this year, here's like a ton of ways that we can improve, a ton of ways that we can make things better. And we're excited. You know, I think that I was kind of learning how to book jobs last year. And so I would just kind of take whatever came to me. And this year I've kind of learned that we're only going to do jobs where they're multi-day kind of festivals on the weekend. If I take a little job on Saturday, you know, from 4 to 6, why, you know, depending on the location, I lose the lunch, I lose the dinner, it's our one job. And then I lose the Friday, Saturday, Sunday combo. So we're trying to just do large festivals, high volume. And the only thing that we're going to modify next is we're going to add an exhaust fan here. And we're going to add an exhaust fan here. Got some leaves up in there. But that's it. I walked you through front to back of the truck. And I hope you enjoyed the tour. If you did, let me know. And hopefully we have some cool videos coming out and some content that you guys want to see. I was kind of back and forth with the truck last year where I kind of was trying to really do like a video a week. And this year I'm going to try to be better about it. So maybe 57 subscribers, maybe we can spread that around, and maybe we can get 100 people that are kind of into seeing us serve some food and things like that. So thank you for watching. Aloha.